Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2023. If this is the first time I'm seeing you since the weekend, thanks for all the wonderful support for me to actually taking time off. I know. What is this thing called balance? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But I will be taking off Mondays and Tuesdays going forward until any of that changes in the future. But I will be going live every night, Wednesday through Sunday, and then also Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings. So I'm excited to be back. I did miss you guys. So I'm excited to get started and see what messages just come in. But we are going to start off sending love out to the world. So if you want to join me for that, I do welcome you, whether you are watching live or on replay. I do invite you to join me outside of space and time to send that love to the world. So I'm going to take a big deep breath and come back to right here, right now. And just let that love cascade down to our hearts, fill us up, and flow out to the world. And if you are in need of love tonight for your heart, your body, your mind, a relationship, a loved one, we send love to you right now as well. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to do that in this space. And I'm going to pop out the chat here and then we will get to going. So, hopefully, everyone's having an amazing 2023 so far. Can't believe it's already 4 days in. It feels like it was just New Year's Day. I tell you, I don't know what's going on. Let me take a look here. Just do that and shrink this down a little bit. Just have to be able to see. There we go. A little better. All right. I think we are all set. And all right, just make sure we are live. All looking good. All right. And as always, or not as always, as recently, the way, if you're new to my channel, I go down the free readings in order by, let me move my microphone back. That was probably a little loud. Sorry. But I do go down in order for the free readings, first come, first serve. And then those that want their reading prioritized, if you make a donation, I do honor the energy exchange. I step out of line, complete those, and then step back in line where I left off on the free readings and continue moving down the list. So that's how it works. And we will get started. And I don't have any donations, so we will start on the free ones. And so, Rushi, you are the first up here, and good morning to you over there on the other side of the world. All right. And I did get a donation, so I will take care of you since I started, and then I will pop down there. Thank you, Vanita. You will be up next. Thank you. So, what spiritual gifts do you have that spirit needs you to know about? All right, let's take a look here and see what spirit wants you to know right now. Okay. All right. So I'm using the Good Tarot tonight. They're all great tarot, but this one's called Good Tarot. You've got the Messenger of Air, which would be the Knight of Air, and then the Ace of Air. So both of these, which would be the Ace of Swords in the Standard Tarot, So the spiritual gift that you have here actually has to do with higher knowledge and connecting to beautiful wisdom from the higher realms. This would be what we might call the knowing, where you channel information, you channel knowingness about just knowledge and wisdom. So, and you've got the world card here, which is great. I really like this about because this is ending of cycles and new beginnings, and also the Four of Earth, Four of Pentacles is about grounding. And what I feel with this is that you do have this ability to really connect to knowledge of the higher realms that help people all over the world how to ground themselves, how to find peace. And what spirit wants you to know is that this knowledge you're gleaning as you're going through and have gone through some challenging situations. I've mentioned it before in the channel a little bit. There was this meme that I just absolutely loved that they bring back to me quite often in this situation. It's so fitting too, is that there are times in our life where we go through things and we learn so much, and they end up being pieces of someone else's survival guide in the future because we've gone through it and we've tested and we've maybe learned from other people too. But we've gathered all this information that helps us through a very challenging time in our human life, and we're able to use that knowledge and use that wisdom to help others. And I feel like that's what they want you to know, is that what you go through isn't just for you. I mean, it's so much we learn and we come here to experience, but spirit and all of us are so intelligent on the other side. But when we come down here, we don't just go, well, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn this, and then I'm going to be able to help that person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person with that too in my life. And so I really, really like that. So there's this knowledge, this knowing that you have, that you'll glean information, but you're also able to communicate it and help others too. So I know that doesn't seem like a spiritual gift, but those people that you help will definitely feel like it's a spiritual gift because you'll just know how they feel, because you'll relate so well with what you went through, with what they're going through, and it's just going to blow their mind. So I like that. So that is what they have for you, Rishi. So that's the gift they want you to focus on right now. There will be more. You have more, but that's the one that they want you to really note. Because you might, if you're not journaling, write down the things that you're learning, like this challenge. This is how I got through it. These are the tools. These are the things that have helped me. And if you don't want anyone to find it, password protect it somewhere, have it hidden somewhere, but it is for you to help others. So I really like that. All right. So let us move on down the list. So, Vanita, thank you so much for your donation. Greatly appreciate it. And let me just find you down here. All right. You're so funny, Vanita. Yes. So, Vanita, I do now have a donation. Boom. All right. And you'd like a general reading. So, we'll start off with some tarot here. I do want to pull a Soul's Journey card from James von Prague for you as well. This one here too. Love you. All right. So we do have these. And then also, I love these cards. These cards are just so pretty. And the camera doesn't do it justice either. There's just so vibrant colors here on this end. All right. So what else for Miss Vinita? All right. So your soul journey card is blame. It says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. And so it says it's so easy to give away the power to transform your life. Certainly, there have been people along your path who have shaped you into who you are today, but you are solely responsible for your own happiness. The ego can be a very fragile thing, and if it comes under fire, the first instinct is to blame an outside force. Don't we all know that's true? Victim consciousness weakens the connection that you have to your soul source. And this mindset says, I don't have the power inside myself to break free because someone else's power is stronger. That's what that little mindset says. And this is an illusion. When you believe that someone else is responsible for your problems, that belief is the problem, right? Personal responsibility can empower you to change your reality. Lasting transformation always begins on the inside and works its way out. There is a difference between a reason and an excuse. A reason is valid and unavoidable. An excuse is an attempt to shift the blame. Ooh, all right. Well, I think we all could use that one. But I love that. And then the tarot cards that came out for you here. Yeah. So you have the magician card here, which is all about standing in your power. You know that you are the one that holds the beautiful, beautiful energy. And they usually have the a wand, and they know wherever they focus their energy is what grows and expands. And one of the big powers the magician shares with all of us is that when we focus on what we don't want in our life, or what we fear will come into our life, or what we feel is missing in our life, we actually very powerful energy grow and expand that, right? We also, when we focus on what we're grateful for, when we focus on what we do want in our life, and focus on unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, all of that grows and expands too. So I love that in combination with this other card because it just shows and reiterates how much power we hold in our own life. And here we go. So we also have here the Ace of Water, which would be the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Water, which would be the Seven of Cups. So the Ace of Water brings in this is the chalice, the Holy Grail, really. It's full of the unconditional love from up above, that eternal, never ending, unconditional, no conditional love from Source that they have for us. And the 7 of water represents usually it's emotional confusion that there's so many emotions that are circling us, there's just so many. And this emotional confusion comes in when our being goes into the fight or flight mode. Our mind just gets all confused and it gets all crazy, and there's all these emotions that are just swarming around us. But this is what brings calm. This is the pearl, what we really are looking for in our lives. And so this does bring as the more we connect to the higher realms, the more we connect, which by the way, the magician is our higher self. So the more we connect to this power, the more this becomes more clear and things drop away, and we're not so inundated by emotional waves of from the outside world. So I like that because then you also have the Page of Earth, which is the Page of Pentacles, which does two things. One, they usually have a pentacle, of course, when they're the Earth, but they allow a change of how we perceive ourselves in relation to the outside world, and then also they it offers new opportunities that come into our world as well. So they definitely expand, and this is the power of our power of the magician. whatever we focus on is what expands. And so fear emotions, like it's talking about, there are those that contract and are all rooted in fear, of course. And so we get to experience all those. And then when we connect to the unconditional love, then that expands and that brings in all those other beautiful emotions related to unconditional love. And there's nothing wrong with either choice, because spirit, they're just different. They bring different results, they bring different emotions, they bring different impacts, but neither is right or neither is wrong. There's no judgment around it. They just are our choice. And when we realize that every moment is a choice between either fear or unconditional love, that wherever we focus our power is what expands and what grows, then when we're focusing on this fear and we're like, you know what, I'm kind of bored with that, I don't want that anymore, we don't feel trapped anymore because we know there's another option if we want to choose it. So we're no longer just have a monopoly on fear-based emotions that we're taught in this world. There's a whole nother one. So I love the power that comes in with these cards for you today. And that's what they have for you. So I like it. Very empowering and transformative. So when we find ourselves not wanting to experience fear emotions, then we just take a deep breath and refocus our energy on what we do want to grow on. And then it just happens. It's wonderful. When we stop looking over here, it shrinks, that grows. When we look over here, that grows and that shrinks. And we're like, wow, what a wonderful journey and adventure this is. So that's what they have for you, Benita. So thank you again so much for your donation. I greatly honor it and love you. All right. Lucky Stars, you are up. So thank you for your donation. And you'd like to have messages from your future partner's higher self. Anything blocking the connection? Yeah, let's take a look here. See what Spirit has for you. So, messages from the future, the partner of the future. It's like the ghost of Christmas future, right? Let's take a look here. What messages? All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. Well, obviously, we've got the lovers card popping in here. So this is them definitely showing that it is them for sure. So there's no doubt that it's them. Um, there is, they do have the 9 of fire, which is the 9 of wands, which would be that there is some energetic blocks that are currently there. Um, but nothing to be overly, nothing, it's normal is what I'm they're trying to say. The 5 of water, the 5 of cups just shows there's some mourning over some past emotions on both sides of the relationship here, both with your future partner and yourself, that you guys are working through. And this is why there's a block there. This block is actually there for you guys to keep you from meeting so that you don't bring in the emotional pain that you guys are working through. And so when you've felt it and worked through it and have really transformed it, then things move forward because you do have the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, which is about things moving and things changing and um, bringing you guys closer and closer together. So the block happens, it kind of jams the wheel so that it doesn't turn because they don't want you to meet with your current emotional pains because you guys would just take it out on each other because that's what we do as humans. you know we're like, we don't mean to, but something triggers, and because it's there, because the trigger is there, it blat, and here comes all that stuff that we regret saying, that eventually we have to eat crow about. But we always remember that it was said, even if they apologize for it, the human mind just goes, oh, well, there's one thing you said to me that hurt my feelings. Oh, here's another thing. And so we have these things, to work on. that we don't want to take into our future relationships. That sometimes we do. Sometimes it's meant to have some friction to work some things out because that's the mirror we want for each other. But in this particular case, they're like, nope, you guys didn't want to bring these particular things in. And so you're dealing with them on both sides, which will help raise your vibrations, which will make you a more cohesive match, which is what you guys are wanting for the future. So that is what's happening there. You do have the Seven of Fire, which is the Seven of Wands. And this is not so much about the blocking the connection, because the Seven of Fire is like you guys will be up on a hill here. Your relationship is going to be, I don't know why it feels like it'll be public, like you'll be seen a lot by the public. I'm not sure if there's someone who will be in a position of management or government or something where they're seen a lot, and your relationship will be on display. And then other people that'll be down here won't like that you guys are so happy. But it's important for you to have this solid foundation going into the relationship, because I feel like you'll have to withstand public um not like ridicule and an attack kind of thing, just that it will need to withstand accusations and blah blah blah, because that's how people are, right? When they feel low about themselves and they're jealous, they're going to throw things. But you'll have to be in this position where you enter into this strong relationship so it stands the test of time, as they say. So that's what they have for you, lucky stars. So I like it. That's what they have. Many blessings. And again, thank you so much for your donation. Greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. So we will continue down the free readings. Let me take a quick sip here. And Holly, you are up and you'd like a general reading. So let's take a look here and see what Spirit has for you. All right. Okay, let's see what these other ones are here. Well, I like how it starts off with the Sun card, because that is like one of the most victorious, bright, shining, beautiful, um, good, good vibe cards in the entire deck. So it's a good omen to have that, because whatever the general reading is about, whatever you're wanting to know about life, I mean, it's like you have brightness coming in. It's a positive result, wonderful things headed your way. You have the Eight of Air, the Eight of Swords, which the Eight of Swords are about your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And the Eight of Air is a great card because normally that shows someone blindfolded and bound and trapped by all these swords, which are whatever your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets were making you feel restricted and small, blinded, bound, trapped. And but they're it shows that you're overcoming them and you're realizing them and you're being set free from them, because that's what the eights are. It's like the education, the wisdom, the learning, and you're moving out of it. And so it's a very much a four in each side is this beautiful flow. You're flowing through these thoughts and these beliefs, and there's transformation happening, which I really like. Because you also have the Emperor, which is about taking control of your life, very much Aries energy. um, the Emperor rules over all the kings, and so they really look to, uh, even though there's a lot of opinion, they ultimately know when enough opinion has been said, and they just shush everyone, and then they make the decision of their for the kingdom, because that is their right, and that is their power, and that's what you have too for your life. And I feel like that's what's happening here is all these opinion, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, you know what? That's all good. I've got all the information I need and I'm making a decision. And it feels like very strong and a lot of strength there. It feels like there might have been some conflict around some things in your life with the 5 of swords, the 5 of air, which normally has to do with someone else trying to prove that their small t truths of opinion are more truer than your small t truths of opinion, or vice versa, or both. And there's a clash and a battle. But that's where the emperor is stepping in and going, you know what? I appreciate your concern. I appreciate your advice. I appreciate the information. And I will make the decision that's right for me for my life. And sometimes um when fear gets involved from other people, they just become overboard with it, and sometimes you do have to become strong with them to shake them out of their panic mode of trying to control your life. And I almost feel like that is something that has kind of happened, but you are really learning to stand up for you and what you want, in your life. Because you have the 4 of water, which is 4 of cups, emotional stability. 4s are like tables with 4 huge legs, a very solid foundation. And the 4 of Cups brings in, along with your 4 of the Emperor, just some solid, stable uh, energy into your life, which is good because um, I feel like with all these situations, they were causing, because these are rooted in the fears of losing conditional love. And so when all of that happens, you know, uh, we can get we can go into panic modes ourselves, and it can feel like upheaval and everything can feel like so much bigger than it was. But that's why I like that you had that stability coming in. You've really just stepped back, put up your boundaries, and you're making decisions that do end up in victory and feeling whole and this beautiful brightness in your life, beautiful victory in your life. So I like that for you, Holly. So stick to your guns, Empress. Empress Holly. So that is what they have. Many blessings to you. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list. And LA made a donation. So we'll jump down there. Thank you so much. You want to know, is S going to lose her condo and move back in? All right, let's take a look here. See what Spirit wants you to know here. So we'll first ask if they're going to lose their condo. And then if they lose their condo, are they going to move back with you? Oh, very good. So glad, Holly. Many blessings. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, anything else around this situation? All right. So are they going to lose their condo? I've got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is, card of unconditional love and um the pearl here. And I don't feel they are. With this, it feels like there's going to be something that I almost want to say miraculous happens where they're just like, what? You're forgiving a month or you're going to extend it or thank God. Yeah, because when I asked if they're going to move in back with you, the Wheel of Fortune. So it's fortunate for you. So you're like, pshh. So yeah, with that Wheel of Fortune, it feels like it's you know, when that card appears, the energy is that your human feels fortunate. So you're like, oh, good. So I really like that. But it definitely feels like there's yeah, some sort of miraculous thing that happens that allows them to not lose it. When I asked if there was anything else about this situation, they have the 9 of fire, which is the 9 of wands, and the 5 of air, which is the 5 of swords, which is conflict of thought and belief, which is um the um the block that's having them have a hard time about, living in the condo and being out on their own and being able to, have things happen that, are wonderful. This almost reminds me of the star card that, with these stars. It's like what's standing between me and my wishes coming true? Well, there's thoughts and there's beliefs that are there. So, they're working out this inner conflict of their beliefs about themselves. So the only thing that you can do in this situation, because you can't change people's minds, is just give them a lot of love, give them a lot of just love support, and that changes their hearts, which then changes their minds around things too, about their abilities and who they are and what they're capable of. So I do like that, because that's anything that we can do for the world is to give love anyway. We can't change minds. Our human characters, we're so stubborn. You can't change my mind, but you can love me, and that activates the love within me. And then eventually that our heart changes and that changes our mind. So I do like that. So yeah, I feel like something miraculous. Wheel of Fortune is there. So things are fortunate, and you are safe. Can always change the locks. Don't answer the door. You're so funny. But that's what they have for you, LA. So thank you so much, and for your donation, and many blessings to you. Yeah, right. Whew. Thank goodness. You're so funny. Crack me up. All right. So we'll move back in line here for the free readings. And Anjali, hello, you are up next. So you said Rishi has good intentions towards you. Can you trust him? All right, let's take a look here. And let's see what Spirit has for you. All right. Well, this looks good here. I see what you're saying here. Your deep intuition kicks in, right? And so you sense all the waters that flow beneath people's surface. The hidden things you pick up on is what I really feel with this. But yeah, you're fine with this because you got the magician, which is, someone who has power. So I feel like this is them, and they have this ability to really make things happen, really focus, really get things moving. And I see here with the two of air is you with your decision, you're kind of, do I trust or don't I? And with this fork in the road, they're really saying, close your eyes, trust your heart, because, um, but take the intuition. Um, I want to say take it to a deeper level, because sometimes the things that we pick up in others has to do with their own inner anguish. And it's not, if we're like, well, I'm not going to trust people that have these vibes in them. I'm like, every human being has the vibes. When we go deeper, we can see the bigger picture in a way. It's like when we go up into the sky, we see bigger. In emotions, you go deeper and you see a bigger picture, if that makes sense. Because you have the Wheel of Fortune, though, which that's when I saw that come out here. And none of these other cards concern me at all. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it says that, this means things turn out fortunate for you with the decisions that you make. So um, the intentions, which it's funny, yeah, because he's the master manifester, which is all about intentions too, right? But it is a positive light here with the Wheel of Fortune there. So I like those cards coming out together there. But when in doubt, trust your gut, trust your intuition, um, around depending on what kind of trust that you're looking for, of course. But I didn't have any concerns with those. So that's what they have for you. So many blessings, Anjali. That is what they have. All right. So, hey, Ray, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for your donation. Happy New Year. So you want to know, what is Jay feeling towards you right now? Let's take a look and see what they have here for you. So what is Jay feeling towards you right now? All right. So the first card that we had come out here is the High Priestess, which is a card of someone pulling back and kind of contemplating things. Usually there's like two pillars on the High Priestess card. And she goes back and forth. She goes behind the veil, dives deep, really looking into things, right? You're nervous. um, but I feel like, they are, well, let me show you these two here first, because it is, they have a 2 and a 2, which is contemplation. They're going back and forth between their heart and their mind. They have the Justice card, which is, the scales here, if you can see them, which is going back and forth between the things. So they're just kind of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth around things. And on one side of the scale is the 7 of Wands, which is them being afraid almost of standing out. They feel like that, if they expressed feelings and if they things move forward, I don't know who they're afraid of, but you must have like a group of friends that are very protective, or they have a group of friends that are very jealous, or both, because it feels like that they're afraid of the backlash they'll get from, pursuing you. Either like their friends are single, or and he's just like, they don't want him to be happy if they're not with someone. Like, you have to be the last one that gets together with someone, because we don't want to be the, left out. And then I also feel like maybe you have protective friends that they know, um, possibly that they're just, like, they're like, oh, I have to go through the gauntlet. They're gonna like do a background check on me and cavity search and everything like that. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be like, up in front of all these people," and so I think that's on one side, but the other side is 9 of water, 9 of cups, which is wish fulfillment. So, I mean, it's on these are the 2 scales, one that they're like, "Oh my gosh, if I do this, then I'll be out here, and these people down here are gonna, you know, wanna lynch me." But the 9 of cups is wish fulfillment, and they're like, "Yeah, but look at that." So it's like going back and forth between the 2, which this is a great card to get when we're asking about, how does someone feel about me?" "Oh, just that you would make their dreams come true, that's all." But then on the other hand, they're also a little scaredy cat. They're like, oh, but it's almost like before you leap off the high dive into a pool, or jump off a cliff into the water, you're just like, I don't know, I don't know, but once they do it, they won't care, that they'll be like totally, you know, into that. Oh no. Is that good or no? But I like it. Yeah, here's the strength card. So in the meantime, this is you, you're human and your higher self. It's a good card to just chill with yourself and find your worth from within, and just let things unfold as it will. Like you said, you're the lion, you're the lioness, right? You're like, I'm not worried. I got me. Um, so I do like that. But that's what's going on. Oh, well, there you go. Boom. So that's what it is. You're like, yeah, I'm not afraid. If I want something, I go after it, but that's all right. I also don't chase. So I like it. So that's what they have for you, Ray. So thank you again for your donation and many blessings to you. All right. Hey, Sun and Moon, thank you for your donation as well. Thanks, Ray. So, what to say when you call Pisces tonight? You haven't spoken in a few weeks. There's a lot of stressors. All right, let's take a look here and see what does Spirit say here. All right, well, let's take a look here. You've got 5 sets of cards. One of them is a one card, so it's not really a set, but so let's take a look here. So you do have the Queen of Air, and the Queen of Air, of course, this is about communication, right? So communication, being the Queen of the Air here, balancing heart and mind. So, I do feel like this is a affirmative that contacting them is a good idea, but it's like here leaving behind emotions that no longer serve, um, in here is what the 8 of Cups is bringing in here. It's almost like, um, I don't know, it's just like hey, what's up? How are you? Not you don't bring up anything like you leave all the emotions behind that don't serve you for this phone call is what I feel strictly for this phone call tonight. Yeah. Because you do have the 7 of air, which would be the 7 of swords. So more communication. 6 of fire is 6 of wands, which just is victory and recognition. And I feel like one, this is also saying that the phone call would go well. But the 7 of air, the 7 of swords is about you being aware of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that would steal things away so that you be really grounded when you go in there, so that uh, you do not have triggers that trigger. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you be aware of just these thoughts that will come in about, why you haven't spoken in a few weeks. This is what their actions mean about me, blah, 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 blah. Realize that anything you see in them is a mirror for you about you, and that you can't really help what they're going to see or feel, sense on their end with the conversation. And so you have to almost, like I said, let go of the any responsibility about a plan, about, this is what I want to say, and then they'll say this, and that it's like it just won't unfold that way. Yeah. Well, yeah, plenty of air, plenty of communication going on. There is, because here's the ace of air, which is the ace of swords, and the 4 of air, which is the 4 of swords. This is balanced communication, which I do like, peace of mind. And the ace of air is higher communication or new communication. So I kind of feel like when you're talking to them, there's this, you know approach of, hey, I just wanted to, you were on my mind, and I just wanted to be able to put my mind at rest that you're doing okay, and just wanted to check on you, because I care. And it's like, if that's the kind of thing that it does, then I feel like it'll bring you peace of mind, and it will have some good communication there. Yeah. Well, obviously here. So he's being a hermit. I feel like this is background you need to know before going into the phone call. They are withdrawn in, and they are working on themselves. Here's the ace of earth, which is they're working on looking and trying to find a different way of looking at their self-worth in relation to the outside world, but they have a lot of conflict with that 5 of fire that's going on in their lives. So, there is stuff that's happening that's pushed them deep into their hermit's cage, their cave. So um, it's almost like uh, not busting into their hermit's cave, but sitting on the outside of the cave, talking in. You know, it's not like having this approach of um, don't have the expectation that they're going to draw you all the way in and have them sit across to them. You know, it's like just know going in that they're very has have everyone off at like an arm's distance, right? Where they're just like, and so that's as far as you'll get in there. And when I feel like knowing going in that this is where they're at and they have all this stuff going on, that don't make it about you with all these cards. Just make it about peace of mind, that you just want to see how they're doing, what's going on with them, no expectations. You know, all the air cards are also, you know, our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, and expectations. And so, you know, really releasing the expectations on how the call should go, who it should be, et cetera, et cetera. We'll just allow it to be a good conversation that's free and without a lot of fear of failing and a lot of things. Just going in, going, my only goal of this is to let them know that I care and I just want to leave with a peace of mind that they're okay. And if you go with that, then it'll just flow, right? But if you go in with a lot of expectations around things, then disappointment, expectations equal disappointment, and it'll end up just being, you know, why didn't you call me? Why haven't you called me? Why haven't you? You know, then it's like, that's then they won't answer the phone, right? So the energy that you do and that you contact with is important. And if you get the voicemail, just be prepared that a voicemail is what you might leave, and kind of just figure out the voice and the care that you just want to say, hey, I want to wish you a happy new year and just checking on you because I care about you, just want to make sure you're doing okay. So if you have time, reach out to me. I'd just love to just to catch up, or just to make sure you're doing okay, and leave it at that, right? Because you do, of course, have the page of air, which the page of air is the page of swords. So you got, out of all these cards that popped up, I mean, you've got how many? Yeah, you've got like half of them are air. So you got five. Yeah, exactly half. 5 out of 10 are all air and communication and expectations too. But that is what they have there for you, sun and moon. So yeah, and let me check here to see if he's going to accept your call, because for some reason they were saying, um, well, have the 3 of air on the bottom of the deck, which is the disappointment card, but I feel like being ready to leave a voicemail was an important thing, but he may even call you back. Let me see here. Will he accept your call? Okay, so the 3 of air just came popping out. So that was their message, that that might be, you might end up leaving a voicemail. But let me see. Will he call you back? So you have the 3 of wands on will he call you back? And it feels like that's an alternate course. Let me take a look here. Maybe he'll text you back. Because you have the Hierophant, which is about them really digging into their own truths, which reminds me of the High Priestess card. They may not answer, and but I think the voicemail is the most important thing if they don't answer. Yeah, because you got another 3. Well, this is Empress New Birth, but I feel like they might text you back in some sort of alternate way. So they may not answer right away, but they may text you back, you know, at another time there. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. I see what you're saying with a lot of stressors. There's definitely some stuff going on there. And maybe that 3 of wands is, I'm going to pull just a another card. Thank you guys so much for your patience here. I just have this interest for Spirit has an interest because they're nudging me to just ask a question, which you can receive this or not. It's totally up to you. But I feel like a nudge to ask just, is it in for your highest experience to pursue this friendship, relationship, period? Okay. Or question mark, right? So you did get the Knight of Swords. I mean, the Knight of Wands, which is fast acting movement, and the Seven of Earth, the Seven of Pentacles, can be patience, or it can be it's time you're seeing the fruit and it's time to change course, which with this Knight of Action, I feel like it's time to change course. And I think that Three of Wands is Spirit going, you're putting a lot of effort into here. And I know you care about him a lot, but strongly think about how much effort you're putting in for as little as you're getting back and why you feel that you need to. And is it possible just to change directions and look for, invest that energy in you rather than in them? Yeah, because you have the Two of Wands. Wherever you invest your energy is what grows, in your life, right? So when we focus on what is missing or is in our lives that we don't want or we fear, we draw that and expand it. But if we focus on what we're grateful for and what we want and focus on love and joy, that expands in our life. So tell you, Sun and Moon, I don't know. I just kind of feel like I know you like it, but yeah. And then here's the Death and Rebirth card. So you can take that as you will. So we answered your question about the communication, and then that other is free advice from Spirit. So that's what they have, Sun and Moon. Hang in there. Many blessings to you. And again, thank you so much for your donation. All right, Crow's Nest, you are up. So will Brandon offer... Yeah, you're very welcome. So is Brandon going to offer you a commitment to actions? Let's take a look here. What is going on with Brandon? So is he offering a commitment soon? With the Three of Swords coming up here, this is the expectations equal disappointment card. So I don't feel like it's soon. I mean, you got the Page of Fire, which is new passion, new drive, but you also have the Nine of Air, which is the Nine of Swords, which is kind of the nightmare or insomnia card, which is like almost to the point of exhaustion around expectations on what a relationship should be, who you're supposed to be, who they're supposed to be, how life is supposed to be, right? I mean, we're all given all that stuff growing up. We eventually reach a point of exhaustion where we're like just ready to give up. And with both the Three and the Nine of Swords coming up here, which this is my kind of poster child for expectations equal disappointment. Usually there's a huge heart on it with three swords stuck in it, which represents that feeling we have when all these things that we're told are supposed to happen and they don't. We're like, what happens? One of my favorite authors, and she's just an amazing soul, Byron Katie. She has a process called The Work at thework.com. If you guys ever have a chance to check it out. But one of the things she says is that when our mindsets and our expectations battle reality, they lose, but only 100% of the time. We're like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, because reality is what it is, and our when our expectations don't reach out, then we're like, ugh," and that's kind of, the expectation story. And when you're talking about, um, next actions there, I mean, we've got the devil card coming in, which the shadow card, they call it the temptation card here, which is how, it's Saturn energy that really shakes up and rattles and rolls your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets about things, which would be, this is what Saturn and the shadow energy deal with, are all our thoughts and our beliefs and our mindsets. And you definitely have the eight of air coming in here, which is again, they usually have someone who's blindfolded and bound and trapped by a lot of swords, which represents, you becoming aware of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are keeping you feeling bound and blind and restricted. And so, there's this rattling around relationships that I feel is going on right now for you. And with the next actions, there is going to be some sort of significant change coming up here, because the tower does remove things out of your life that no longer serve you to make space for new things to come in, or for you to clear the path so you can move forward into the direction that is in alignment with where you want to go. So I almost feel like there's going to be some shaking, rattling, and rolling going on here, because you also have the page of earth, which is new opportunities opening up in the outside world for you. So, I feel like with all this going on here, that there is some changes that are happening, that are going on, that are, let me see what these are about here. Yeah. Yeah. Because here you have the hermit card, which is, I know, hanging out in your wonderful inner journey, which we all love to do. And whatever's coming is coming fast here, because you've got the eight of fire, eight of wands, which is very, very fast movement, and the chariot, which is a huge, huge movement as well. But just know, whatever this is unfolding that's coming your way, it is coming, for you, and it's not happening to you. So I feel like something's going to happen here where Brendan may not be the priority in your life, because whatever this thing that's changing here, let's see here. It's like them being removed out of your life, though, or something being brought. Um, I feel like it's them being moved out of your life, and that there's something more significant being moved into your life. Because I just feel with all those, the expectations and disappointment and all that around those things. Yeah, because again, now the temptation card and the ace of swords coming out here, which is new communication. But this is the temptation card here, is about thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, that things change between the two of you. What you're expecting from them changes. So I feel like you get communication from them that just changes your whole approach to them, quite actually. So um that's that's as much as they're giving right now. But the biggest thing is, the reason Saturn comes in, um, definitely is, with that temptation card, is like this justice card, which is balancing the fears of losing conditional love, all the expectations around relationships. It balances out with that ace of swords that you just had, because she has the ace of swords right here too. That it's like, um, allowing you to see things differently and letting a lot of supposed to's go. And I feel like there's just a lot that's attached to relationship, and defining it, that has it so restricted that it's kind of like blowing up to where it needs to be freed in order to breathe, right? Because you also have the Nine of Earth, the Nine of Pentacles, which is about you finding your wholeness and completeness within yourself. That nine, the Hermit's card, going in there. So that's what they have, coming in there. So yeah, I kind of feel like they're not going to be offering commitment. And then this Tower card, something happens where they're kind of removed like away from your life for you, though, because it brings something more in alignment with where you want to be, something more that you deserve, is what I feel. So that's what they have. So you're very welcome. Many blessings to you, Crow's Nest. All right. So, Princess, thank you so much for being new and for your donation. Yeah, and for anyone new, I'm at the top of the hour, so I'll do this for anyone who's new to my channel too. Because I like to do it at the top of the hour. I'll be on for 2 hours, so I'll be on for another hour. But how I handle the free readings is I go in order, first come, first serve. But when someone makes a donation, like we've had here in Princess, as well as you have, I step out of line, complete those, and then once there's no more donation ones, I step back into line. I do give them priority because I do honor that energy exchange. But then I go back in order where I left off and then continue down for the free reading. So that's how it works. That's your public service message. So we'll get back into readings here. So, Princess, you want to know, how does Amanda feel about you? She's mean to you. Well, Amanda, let's take a look here. See what's going on with Amanda. Why is she being mean? Let's take a look here. All right. So let's see what we have. All right. Well, there definitely is a lot of energy there. I wonder if she's a fire sign. Not into all fire signs. I don't mean that every fire sign is mean. What I'm saying is that sometimes, and you being if you're a fire sign, then you can be like, okay, I get where you're coming from, because fire, when there's enough air around them, it'll inflame, it'll become very bright, right? So sometimes, there's a lot of fire depending on what's going on in their life and what the planets are doing and everything else. So sometimes we can just catch them at a bad time, not at a bad time, just at a fiery time where we can't get, the fire leaps off and burns us a little. And so, that can happen, because I really feel we've got the Empress card and the Wheel of Fortune here. This is faded. Um, this means that your interaction with them is faded, and it is for you, because that's the four tune. It's the tune of for you. And the Empress is about nurturing and birthing and new things coming in. So there is this. I almost feel like there's going to be a reboot between the two of you, and that things will change a bit. But you've got the Tower card, which in this case, normally this is like things moved out of your life for purpose and things moved into your life on purpose. And you have the Sun, so here's the fireness. But this is a very bright and fortunate card. And the Three of Air here, this equals heartbreak and disappointment. And so there is this mirror that I'm seeing, for the two of you. And I really feel like that she's been brought into your life, Princess, on purpose, for purpose, with all these cards. It's just all over the place in them. That they are purposely there to show you something about yourself that you want to see. And so whatever is bubbling up within you, that's where this heartbreak, this pain is coming up. It's because however you feel that she's being mean to you, you can ask yourself, how am I being mean to myself? You know, why am I believing like what they have to say? You know, and let me give you an example. So if someone walks up to me and they go like, "I think you're an alien from another planet." And I'd be like, "Great. Well, thank you for that." Because, I don't believe this human character in this lifetime is an alien from another planet, so I don't believe what they're saying. It doesn't impact me. However, if they came up to me and said something like, and maybe like 10 years ago, because now I really don't care, but like okay, 10 years ago, they come up to me and go, "I don't think you deserve love, and I don't think you'll ever find it." What did they just say? Now, if I believe that inside of me about myself, then that's going to seem mean to me and that's going to seem very hurtful. And I can't believe they would say that to me. But I would have wanted them to say that to me for me to question that, because when I question it, I'll find that for the lie that it is. So I feel like, however, why she's being mean to you is divinely guided for that. And so you can look into that and go, "Oh, okay. So how she's being mean to me, how am I being mean to myself that way, or what thoughts around what she's saying about me am I believing, and how is that impacting me?" So, I really feel like it's divinely a divine mirror for you to help identify a trigger and a belief within you that can be dismantled because it's untrue. And once you find out what it is, then you question it and you go, "Why do I believe that? That is there any truth to that at all? Like I deserve to be treated this way, or that I believe what she's saying?" And then you're just like, "Oh no." And then you won't take it personally. Then you'll like deactivate the trigger. So I like it though, Princess, because it is going to free you. Yeah. So you're just like, "Oh, just took her power away. They can say anything they want to me." And I'm like, unless I believe it, then it doesn't mean anything, right?" So you are very welcome. I like it. All right. And Anura Hab Haskar, I do see your question there. I will get down to it eventually. I know sometimes YouTube, it doesn't show that it's popping up. So people will keep reposting the question, but I do see it, so you don't have to repost it again. I just go down in order, first come, first serve, unless you make a donation, like Renee just did. Then I'll step out of line to complete it. Otherwise, I'll eventually, hopefully, get down to it within the hour. So thank you for your question. All right, Renee, I am doing well. I'm rested and more balanced. So I'm going to take Mondays and Tuesday nights off, um, and in balance, which was a very scary thing for me to do. All right. So Renee, hopefully you're well as well. And you can pop your question down there as I take a drink. All right. So does your brother need to worry about the random guy recording him on the bike? Wow. Yes, self-care and balance is important. It's like I always talk about the codependency awareness. I have to make sure I don't do that because I will overgive until I'm exhausted. So I like it. Let's see here. Okay. No, I don't see any concerns here. I mean, we've got the King of Pentacles, which is about abundance, and the Four of Earth, which is about balanced, outside world. So, and we also have the calling of the higher self here, which is really just an awareness of a connection to their higher selves more so, which is interesting because I'm like, well, we got the 20 equals a 2, and you got the 2 of fire, the 2 of wands. Whatever you focus on is what grows. So I just feel like they're safe. I just don't have any concerns with these cards coming out. You're protected from your higher self, and just whatever, focus on gratitude, not focus on fear or what could happen in those. That just expands and attracts that energy. But of course, there's always the we stay aware. We're not stupid, right? We're like, they're kind of strange. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would just be aware and not focus on fear. But I don't have any big concerns with all of that coming in there at all for it. But that is that is kind of unique what they're doing there. Maybe they just look really good. Well, it depends on how old your brother is. If it's a if it's a young lad, I'll be like, just double checking here. Yeah, we got the star card. So wish fulfillment uh and hope and everything. So that's a bright card, not anything to be uh concerned about. But is he like a child, or is he like, in his 20s or something? Because I feel like it's more of attraction. They're like, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah, because the King of Earth came out again here. So I feel it's more just like they're he might search and find himself on YouTube, hot guy riding on bike. But I don't feel like it's creepy. I just feel it's because he's, like you said, too handsome for his own good, right? But yeah, I don't have any big alarms going off there. Yeah, trust me, there's all sorts of unique things people do out there. So it's too funny. So that's what they have for you, Renee. So thank you again for your donation. You're funny. All right. So we'll continue now to go back through the free readings. And we left off with self love, and you'd like an ancestral message. And I do have an angel guide oracle that they'd like me to use. So I'm going to pull a card from there for you. All right. Well, I like this message. So your ancestors are talking about blessings and abundance coming in. So beautiful card there. And let's see here. Yeah, a light of blessings and abundance is being wrapped around you now, and your ancestors want you to know that they are supporting you. They're encouraging you to trust in your intuition and any other guidance that you're receiving at this time, as it will lead you toward tremendous growth and fulfillment. Many blessings are being showered upon your present situation. If you have not yet experienced them, know that they will be revealed and shared in the perfect time space sequence. All the doors to abundance are now being opened to you. Ancestral wisdom is encouraging you to begin counting your blessings. Then you will be open to receive even more of them. Abundance in the spiritual, abundance is the spiritual reward for trusting and sharing our gifts and talents. When we align our choices and actions with the highest good, we will be blessed with opportunities. At this time, you're in a place of deep spiritual connection and strength and are being given the opportunity to feel spiritually rich. Even if you're feeling sensitive or overwhelmed, the veil between this realm and the higher realms is thin, and you have light and support all around you. If you have any concerns about finances or assets, know that the hand of the Creator is guiding your situation to a blessed outcome. Trust in your talents and the ancestors who are supporting you. Wow. Boom. I like it. What a message, self love. So you have some abundance on your way. Just focus on what you're grateful for, and even it will be even bigger, is what they're saying too. So I like it. That's what they have for you. All right. So, Mira, you are the next reading up, and you want to know just for the general for January. All right. Let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know about your January. So, for Mira. All right. Well, I do like this because you do have this kind of change that's happening here because you've got the major arcana 5, which is the Hierophant, which really has to do with you really getting into the deepness of what your truths are about yourself and what you want in life, what your purpose is here. You're really getting into the nitty gritty and diving deep. You're just like being drawn into your soul. And the 5 of Earth, one of the things that you're really focusing on here with this, because 5 is the number of change, the 5 of Pentacles starts off being about feeling left out in the cold, left behind, abandoned, and being let down by the humans of the world. You know, that you are looking to have your needs met and you don't feel that they are able to, or that at any moment they might withdraw their support from you. And that does bring a lot of fear, and for good reason, because as I say here quite a bit, humans are fickle. When we go into fear, we do withdraw support and ourselves for self survival. And so that is a valid fear that we do have when we believe that humans are what bring us what we need in each moment. But this transformation that comes in here, this awareness that comes in with especially the combination of those two, is that you realize that it's source, creator, mother and father of all things, whatever you believe the higher realm is, are the ones that bring you what you need in each moment, not humans. Humans are just the delivery company, the shipping company that might bring it to us, but it comes from spirit. And they are the ones that will make sure that we have what we need in each moment. Maybe not what we want, but what we need in each moment. And and their love for us is unconditional. It is eternal. So never ending, nothing we can do to lose it. So we're not in danger of them suddenly ripping away our support. They want to bring us what we need in each moment at the very minimum. And they usually want to give us more because they love us so much. So there is this transformation of trust in the higher realms that it is bringing us what we need. They are bringing what we need, because you do have then 3 water cards, which are cups in the standard tarot, which is all about the emotions. You have the 4 of water, which is about emotional stability. You have the Queen of water, which not only rules over water, but all the queens are given a second portion of water. So she is able to dive deep into the emotions, very high intuition too. And the 9 of water, wish fulfillment. So there is this deep diving that's going on, especially with this the Hierophant here. You are diving deep, understanding your truths, connecting to the spirit realm. And really, with all of this, it feels like just emotional fulfillment is coming in this month because of this reflection that you're doing inward and deep into the emotions. And that's where the Queen of Water, she usually has the chalice, the Holy Grail, which is full of the unconditional love from up above. So I feel like this is a month of really diving deep into your spirit, into your heart. And that's where you find this connection to the spirit realm, this trust, this love, and this trust, this unconditional love and worthy trust that you have in spirit about bringing whatever you feel you need in your life. It comes through from spirit. And so there's this huge awareness just around the concept of what does wish fulfillment really mean. And that hierophant is you getting into that deep capital T truth about who you really are, not who you've been told to think you are, but who are you really on the inside, and how is it you uniquely want to share that unconditional love in your heart with the world? So there is this awareness that comes in. So I like that for you. So that's what they want you to know about your January so far. It's like they're in an invitation. Come in deep into your heart. We'd like to um, hang out with you, Spirit would. So I like it. All right. So Aditi, you are up next. All right. So you do want some divine guidance. And we're going to pull from the Path of the Soul Destiny cards. So let's see what they have for you right now. I do call these the spiritual ink blot tests. So whatever you see is a special message for you. And then I'll read from the book as well. And this is called work. Oh, really? So the advice in your current situation, work. This card relates to work. It describes working at what you are really here to do. It's about combining all of your knowledge and your gifts on both the physical and spiritual plane and utilizing both as a means of earning a living. If you're not sure what it is you are really here to do, this card is asking you to take action and the rest will follow. The two worlds have come into alignment and the time has come. This card can also show that you are on the right path. Everything is in proper balance. So it does seem, yeah, it does look like the Two of Pentacles card, which usually has an infinity symbol. So there is this balancing that's going on, this uh, nudge to balance the higher realms with the human realm. And if you're wondering, what am I supposed to do? They are definitely wanting you to look and say, what am I really here to do? And is it what I've been told I'm supposed to do, should do, need to do, have to do? Or are you really looking at what are you really, really here to do? So I like that for you. So that's the guidance I have for you right now, is one of balance, but also consider looking from a higher perspective on what your life is here. Why are you here for? And is it to do all the stuff that maybe we're concerned about? Maybe that's just human fear stuff, all these supposed to's and shoulds that you've been told. But what is it you really want to do as well? So I like it. All right, DT, that is what they have for you. And I do have a donation. Let me just take a look here. All right. So this is from, let me just make sure the names are the same here. All right. And I won't, since I don't see your exact name, I don't like when I get it another way, I don't like saying the names for privacy purposes. So the donation I did get does ask about a person uh, trusting in a new relationship, and you're having a hard telling the difference between fear and intuition. I know, right? So let's take a look here and see what they have for you here. Because, yeah, I get it. Sometimes it's like it feels like it comes from the same place, because sometimes when your heart drops into your stomach, that fear feels like gut instinct, but it's really fight or flight kicking in, right? Intuition. Yeah. The more you work with both, the more it becomes clearer and clearer, is all I can say about that. So let's take a look here and see. So, can you trust this new relationship? All right. What else? Let me just get all the cards out here. Okay, okay, okay. So, with the Eight of Air coming out first, this is the Eight of Swords. Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our expectations. And the Eight of Air would be normally someone blindfolded, bound, and trapped, which would indicate like it's those the swords are the fears of losing conditional love. So what I would say, okay, it's you. Okay, so Christian, so what I would say is that the some of what you're feeling definitely are the fears of losing conditional love coming in, because let me just get these cards here. I'll do these two first, because in addition to the Eight of Air, you also have the Knight of Swords and the Temptation card, which the Saturn, this is Saturn's shadow devil, normally a devil card, and the Knight of Swords. This is about pursuit of truth, higher truth, wanting to find how to cut away, these thoughts and these beliefs and these mindsets that no longer serve. And the Temptation card here, whenever it appears, it is rattling our cage to have us question what our beliefs are that we've grown up with around, like, what is the relationship supposed to be, who are they supposed to be, who am I supposed to be, blah blah blah, all that cage that we get encaged in around all these rules we have around everything, in the world. And so there is this destiny of why this situation is coming up, so that it can shake your cage. So this individual is a destined individual to come across your path, because they're going to help you here with the Eight of Water, the Eight of Cups, to leave behind emotions that no longer serve you. And it allows you to end cycles, uh, end an old cycle, an old way of doing things, to move into a new adventure. Because then you had the Ace of Earth, the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new opportunity opening up in the outside world. So, the what happens with all of this going on when we ask, can I trust this new relationship? It's more, what am I fearing? You know, what can someone do to me? Can I trust a new relationship? Well, what do I need to trust them with? What am I looking to them to be? What expectations do I have around uh, who they have to be, and how are they going to break that trust? So there's these questions that are coming up because of this interaction coming up, because when we really look at it all, we're taught, well, they're supposed to be faithful to me and they're supposed to treat me a certain way and blah, 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 because that all tells me how they feel about me and how worthy I am. It's a lot of what we're taught anyway. And then if they don't, what does it mean? And it's like nothing. It basically tells us tells us about them, not about us, right? So there is this wonderfulness coming in here, because there is the Ten of Wands, which is so much burden of so much energy that's put into things. But the chariot is about movement, it is about victory. So you're getting ready here to let go of all this energy that you put into things, around the expectations around relationship. You are getting to the point where you're just like, it is a burden to try to live up to all these expectations I have inside me, much less try to make other people and police them to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's just overwhelming, right? And that chariot is, this movement, this victory. But there's also, along with the King of Pentacles here, the King of Pentacles teaches us something along with the chariot card. And so the King of Pentacles, one of the big pieces of wisdom, I mean, he looks very wise. He's been through it all. He's been through the entire suit of Pentacles. One of the big things he learned is that when he defined his worth by the outside world, he felt unstable. His worth felt unstable because outside, we're told, look for yourself, your self-worth out there, and have it defined by relationships, situations, and things, right? But relationships, we all know, are unstable because people change, people pass away, people walk away, right? Situations never stay the same, like work, education, social status, whatever it is that situations we get in that we define ourselves by, they never stay the same. And then things, our bodies, our possessions, our bank accounts, they break down, they burn down, they blow up, they're stolen, they deteriorate. All that stuff that we're told to define ourselves by, you know, disappoints, unstable. And so that's why we feel unstable. That's why I call it retail price on the outside world. When we look for our self-worth, comes from in here, self-worth, not retail. Retail price is what we feel our value is to other people. Like if you're a big parka coat in northern Alaska during the winter, you are valuable and even probably marked up in price, and people are fighting over you. You're that same parka warm coat on a tropical island on the equator during the summer, you're being donated. You're not even on the clearance rack. You're being donated to Goodwill, and because no one wants you. And it's like, that's the up and down and the fickleness of retail price of the outside world. But we're told since we're very young, define yourself by all this stuff. But when we get disappointed enough, tired enough of trying to live up to all that stuff, defining ourselves by all that stuff, we eventually turn inward for our self-worth and upward. And then that is where we learn of something that is stable, the unconditional eternal love of the higher realms from where we come. It is eternal, meaning it's never ends, and it's unconditional, not one condition that we can lose it. And when we start defining our worth by that, then it changes our whole outlook of the outside world. We're not looking to it for our value. So everything out there is just above and beyond and extra. And it is what it is. I, another example Spirit gave is about we find our meal, our 10-course meal within us that comes with 2 desserts. So we find our fullness and our wholeness from within. And then we don't care if third, fourth, and fifth dessert that's offered to us on the outside gets pulled away from us. So we're like, thank God, I think I needed an intervention anyway, on my desserts. And it's like, okay, here we go. Here's the, wholeness. Everything else is extra out there, and it changes everything that we look at. The Chariot card tells you too that every moment is a choice, and that choice is in your hands. You get to choose what emotion you want to feel as you go through anything, and you also get to decide what story you apply to anything. Goes back to all those small teachers, all those opinions that we've been given growing up around what something is supposed to mean, should mean, need to mean, have to mean, and it's like every moment is either a story of that fears of losing conditional love or of unconditional love. And if we choose in the moment, like if someone says something, I get to choose, am I going to attach a story of conditional love and fear of, oh, that means that I'm worthless? Or like, do I choose an unconditional love of, oh, what they say is about them and they're going through something? Well, I wonder what's going on with them. We don't take it personally. We know it's something going on with them, right? We get to choose the story. We get to choose the emotion too. Am I going to be devastated or am I going to be loving? And there's this power that's coming in here. And so I know a lot of information, and luckily you can rewatch this as many times as you want. But can you trust this new relationship? You can trust that it's happening for you. Can I trust this person? Mm, what do you need to trust them with? Third, fourth, and fifth dessert? Sure. Don't trust them with your meal. Don't trust them with your first and second dessert because that's not what they bring you anyway. You find that inside of you. So um, that is what they are bringing forward. I hope that makes sense and that resonates. And please let me know. Oh yeah, right. So when people say you're too soft, you're like, oh, I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks on you. Um, but it's a mirror. So people think you're being too soft. It's like, oh, something inside them is being soft. Like if people say, you're so sensitive, and like, well, their thoughts about you are so sensitive, aren't they? Because otherwise they wouldn't be saying anything. Yeah, it's very revealing that you realize that only what you're feeling is about you. What you're seeing in other people is about you. What they're seeing in you, nothing to do with you. And it's very freeing. Yeah, exactly. I love it, Kristen. So thank you so much for that question. And sorry it was such a lengthy one, but they wanted to give you some great detail. And I imagine that was more than for just you and me as well. So whoever else was listening that was resonating for, spirit knows. That's why they go extra, extra sometimes, because it's beautiful. I learn a lot, I know. So again, thank you so much for your donation and many blessings to you, Kristen. All right, let me just move this out of the way and we will continue down. So we're about 30 minutes away before the close of this session. So, as I mentioned earlier, if you do want to make sure I get to your reading in this session, a donation does prioritize it, and I absolutely make sure I complete it in within this session. So, uh, and I'll talk more about other options as I get toward the end of the session as well. All right. All right. So, Melissa, you are up next. What does your crush S, Aries, want you to know but won't say? Uh-oh. You are brave, Melissa. Well, let's take a look here, see what they have to say. Let me get some clarity real quick here on this last one. Thank you. Well, that makes sense. You did say Aries, right? Okay. Yeah. So Emperor Aries card. This is Aries fire, even though there's a lion, I know. But the Emperor is known. In fact, is that an Aries symbol? No, I don't know. But it's Aries energy. So very much um, what they want you to know, but they won't say that they are the ones in control, that they rule their lives, which is probably understood, right? But that they have fears in their life, even though they come across like this emperor, rah, rah, rah. Behind the scenes, they have fears. The Seven of Swords Excuse me, I shouldn't have roared. um, it represents their thoughts, their beliefs, their mindsets that are stealing from them, that steal joy and opportunities. They're these beliefs that steal things, steals their confidence, steals, that kind of things from their life. And so they don't want people to know that they have fears. I feel like they're pretty, you know, they always want to make sure to put on the strong presence, which, is them. But there's also the star card here, which is about wish fulfillment. It is about hope. And the ace of fire here, this is, of course, more fire with the Aries energy, is passion, is new passion, is new things. Um, I feel like that because this is what they don't want you to know, that they have this new passion, they have this new wish fulfillment that they want, that they don't tell anybody about either. I don't feel like it's a person either. I just feel like they have these fears, these dreams that they want to accomplish and do, but they're afraid to tell anyone about it, and they have this passion for things, and so they just keep this stuff to themselves, but it's really what they're focused on in their life. They have this hidden dream, and it's almost like they spend a lot of energy concealing it, but also try to invest in it too. So, um, I don't feel like, because I didn't ask what they want you to know about you, about how they feel about you. It's just what do they know, what they want you to know, but they won't say. And I feel like they want to share this with you, but they don't want. They haven't shared it with anyone, and they're afraid because they think that it will disappoint people. So I feel like they have lived so much of their life trying to be, the emperor, the strong person, and all this kind of stuff. And they have this dream, but they think everyone will think it's stupid or not, them or silly or whatever. And so they won't share it with anyone, but they'd want to, but they won't. But I don't feel like I said it's a passion of them living their life. I don't feel like it's something about a person or a thing. I feel like they're just so driven by it on the inside. It'd be like someone whose parents wanted them to be a doctor or in sports or something where they have this plan that they've been talking about forever, but they hate it. They want to be an artist. They want to be a musician. They want to be something that their parents would they feel their parents would just absolutely go crazy about because no son of mine or no, daughter of mine, whoever S is, no, this person, they can't do that. You must do what this is expected, right? So that's what I really feel is going on with them there. But that's what they have, Melissa. I know. I wish it was all about they think you're everything and they want to be with you. But I just feel like they're so consumed with this thing inside that they they kind of just hide. They hide it so deep and they spend so much energy concealing it. So that's what they have, Melissa. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right. All right. So, Princess Pinky, you are the next free reading that's up. You want to know, have you already met or do you already know your partner? All right. Let's take a look here and see. So, I don't feel you've met him yet because the magician is about manifestation and movement. And so I don't feel like this, and number one is new. is a new number. It's like a ending and new beginning. A 10 is an ending, a one's a new beginning. So new is it's new. Okay, I can only say it so many times. It's new. Okay. Um, so you haven't met them already. How can you journey towards them? Well, you've got the strength card coming in, which is basically your higher self and your human self, and your higher self saying, interact with me, spend your time focused on getting to know me and your self love, because that expands while you're waiting on the journey. Work on your inner relationship with your higher self, because while we're having any pause waiting for things to unfold, the more we work on our self love, the faster the outside world goes. The slower we work, the slower it goes to draw us together. So, the more both of you work on your inner self love, the faster you guys are drawn together. It's like you move up to here. You also have the 10 of swords, which is you're sick and tired of being sick and tired about expectations and supposed tos and should be's and need to be's and have to be's, and you're ready to let them go, all these expectations around a relationship. So you are ready to release the supposed to and should, need to, and have to about relationships so that you can be free from those things, which is great because the more do they have, I was going to say, because you have the chariot, I was going to say, usually like horses, when they have these blinders, they can't see anything out here, right? And that's our expectations. And the more we remove more and more expectations, the more we get to see. And the thing about that is our destined partner is out here where we can't see until we remove expectations. And so the more we work on releasing those things, the faster we'll spot them, right? And so that's what Spirit is saying there. Like I said, you have the chariot, which is movement, which is victory. So they want you to keep hope that things are moving, but they'll move faster when you do your inner work around love. So that's the path. The journey is an inward journey, and that's the biggest thing that we can do is work on our inner love. And it's a win-win because not only does it draw them to us each other faster, we cannot love others more than to the extent we love ourselves, or receive love from others more than the extent we love ourselves. So if my self-love is about this big, it's going to, no matter how much they flood, it's just going to drip in. No matter how much we want to love, it's going to drip out. So the more we expand our self-love when we do get together with that partner, we have so much love that can flow back and forth between each other. So that is what they have for you, Princess Pinky. So many blessings to you. All right. So let's take a look here. And all right. So we are to Eliza for the next free reading. So how may you know, okay, the current situation between R to A. All right, let's take a look here. See what's going on with them right now. Okay. All right. Feel like this is what comes out with them, but we got the Emperor card. They are trying to take charge of their life. They are trying to make movement and get some solidity and get some sort of stuff happening in their life. So they are trying to take action. There is an ending of cycles leading to new beginnings. So there is an ending that's happening here with them, but there's still some decisions to be made. The two of air, the two of swords, it's usually they're standing at a fork in the road about which way to go. What are they going to do? And again, another four of earth. So with the emperor card, um, both of these fours are about stability. So they are ending a cycle, but they're still at this crossroads of how to get some stability into their life, because it feels like their life is just an upheaval and they are trying to get some sort of balance and stability. They just feel like everything is exploding and blowing up, and they're trying to get some control and get some, just like I said, stability. They're just, I need to stabilize. I need to just get balanced. I need to. So they're looking at this, but I feel like it's, especially with that world card, it's endings and new beginnings. It's ending of old cycles and a new adventure. So I feel like they're, R is, I think they're, going their separate ways, but it's taking time. Like I said, I feel like there's all this stuff that's, and if they were tied together in different ways, it takes time. And, if you were sharing a home or you were sharing residence or you had this involvement, if you had a dog together, who's going to have the dog? It's like all this stuff. It's just like, there's just a lot of ties that they have to untie. And they're things that aren't just easily severed. They're not like little string that you can just clip. They're like the big, huge, metal things that keep bridges together. It's like, it's not something that's easily just snipped. It's things are taking time, and it's just feels very unstable. And he's trying to have stabilization, if that's a word. So that's what's going on, Elisa. So that's what we have. Not with themselves. Yeah. Yep, they're going through their process there, they stay together for the sake of money and convenience and stability while they're working at separating, right? So that's what I feel, Elisa. All right, and we do have a donation. Hey, Melvin. Mel. Good to see you. It's been a long time, right? Happy New Year. You're very welcome, Elisa. So you're feeling blocked, and you feel you know why. All right. Katrina, I did not get down to you yet, and only got about 8 minutes left. I'm doing a donation now, so I may not get down to it, but I'll talk about alternatives. If you do want to make a donation of any kind, it doesn't matter. I do make sure I complete those within the session because I do honor that energy exchange. But if not, I'll talk about some alternatives here in a moment too. All right. You are welcome. So can we see what spirit has to tell you about? If yes, what you think is the block actually is, will it clear up, or how can you clear it? Okay, yeah, let's take a look here. So you feel there's a block. So I want to know if spirit goes, do you know what it is? Okay. All right. Let me just take a look at these real quick here. Well, it's interesting because we do have the Ace of Air, which is the Ace of Swords, which would tell me that there's this connection to the higher realms. You have the World card, which is the ending of old cycles and the beginning of new things. So I feel like that the block is going to be lifting here, quite honestly. I'm like, here's the official ending of a cycle and the beginning of something else. And the Ace of Swords is new communication, new things coming in. So I feel like there's going to be something coming in here that definitely changes it. And it feels like with the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Wands, it's going to be coming in fast here as well. So I feel like they're telling you, you may not have to worry about this much longer. Here it comes, this change that's coming. Yeah, spirit understands. You have the Seven of Water, which does represent emotional confusion that's going on. So there is this emotional circle. It feels like almost like a At first, I thought it was a hurricane they're showing me, but it's more of a whatever they call those water funnels. It's just like there's this huge emotion of water that's flowing around you. And I don't feel it's you. I feel like there's just a lot of emotions that are circling around you because you have the queen of water here. And whoops. So I feel like with the Queen of Water, she rolls over water. All the queens are given a second portion of water, and she's able to dive deep into her emotions, and she has a great intuition, right? So she picks up on everyone's emotions around her. She brings in all of the, senses at all. And sometimes that circling so close, sometimes it feels like your own emotions. So I almost feel like there's this emotional distraction that's happening around you because so many people are going through so much crud around you that it feels like, oh, it almost feels like there's just this I don't know, I almost feel claustrophobic that I just feel so smothered by so many emotions that are going around. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense then. And especially with the full moon in is it a full moon in Cancer next week? I think. Yep. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you have because I feel like you have the king of air here. Yeah. Which is the of course the mind and thought and belief and that, and Uh, not only do they roll over air, they're given a second portion of air. So you have the queen of water, which is emotion, emotion, and then you have the king of air, which is mind, mind, but you have peace of mind. So that's why I feel like for you, this isn't about you. I feel like you're okay. You have this peace of mind. You got things figured out in your head. It's just the emotions that are just like, "Oh my god, what is going on?" Like, I feel like I wanna cry, and then you're like, "And now I feel I wanna kill someone in the next moment. What is this?" And you're like, "Oh my gosh." So, you do have the wonderful justice coming in, the balancer that's coming in, and so this is good to have, especially with all that air energy there because she does help balance the any fears that we have of losing conditional love with higher knowledge and seeing things from a higher perspective, which the ace of air helps you do that. It helps you connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm and allows you to cut away those small t truths that are bouncing around, creating fears all over the place. But again, I don't feel like these are your fears. I feel like the block that's happening that you feel, it just when you have when you're a water sign, or if you have especially a water moon, you feel emotions like crazy, and we have these huge pipes from our heart, and when we don't have unconditional love just flowing out to the world, it's almost like an underwater pipe. When water's going out, no water comes back in. All the water shooting out there into the ocean. But as soon as it turns off, then all the water from the outside kind of comes in. And it feels like it's like, oh my gosh, it's just filling us back up. So something that, because you were asking, how can you clear it? Um, Blast it out with unconditional love energy. Just try to imagine, you're a let's say a funnel, and that all that unconditional love from above, just let it flow down, fill you up, and then it just floods out that pipeline out to the world, because that is one of our beautiful gifts, for all of you that are empathic out there and you feel people's emotions, which we all are, just different degrees and extremes depending on a bunch of stuff. But one of the things is that when you have that, you think it's a curse. And it's but that's feeling people's emotions is, only a small part of your gift. the gift that you have is that you can flood the world in huge ways with unconditional love energy, and you can transform a room. You can transmute people's emotions just by simply being around them, speaking with them, you know, and it just happens. People don't understand what's happening sometimes. That's why, I have a ton of Pisces and water in my chart, moon, and sometimes just people hanging around with me, they're just like, I just feel so calm suddenly. And even, I get that here too sometimes, is like, it's just this energy, it's the love energy from above that's just flooding through, and it just transforms things. And that's what you can do. Yeah. So that's how you can clear it and cleanse it and push it out. But um, and I'm sure you have ways that you move energy and do energy as well. But that's how you can uh, push through that water block that's there, and then you'll feel the flood. You'll feel the opposite energy come through you and out to the world. So that's what they have there, Melvin. So hopefully that helped, Mel. And well, yeah, we'll send you a lot of love too. We'll just push it out. Let's do it. Hey, Esther. No, I haven't answered your question. I'm actually absolutely. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Absolutely. And thank you so much for your donation, Mel. Esther, I didn't get to yours, and actually, I'm on my last here. LA will be my um, last. Well, they made a donation, so I'm going to complete them, but I've already completed the free readings for tonight. So if you do want me to complete, and this is for everyone, if you do want me to complete your reading in this session, I left off on, let me just make sure here, my last free reading. Oh no, Esther, I was going to be to you next. But I did leave off on Eliza, and yeah, and so I've hit my 2 hour mark, but I do honor the energy exchange of donation. So if anyone makes a donation, I will complete it during this session. And if not, I will be back tomorrow night. And then I start my twice a day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well, in the mornings and in the evening. But if you need an answer tonight and you're not able to make a donation, I totally understand. I do have a ton of playlists available. If you do click on my name, the Brothers and Mystic Tarot, it'll take you to my main page, and there are all the playlists listed. I've pick a card readings with a ton of subjects, love, abundance, different things. In fact, I have a pick a card coming out this evening about abundance in 2023. Um, and but I also have weekly energy updates, monthly readings by each zodiac sign. So if you're unable to make a donation, go please check that out. Follow your heart, and spirit will guide you to the readings, and all those are free as well, so you can check those out and answers there. Also, if you are able, I do offer personal readings on a sliding price scale, and all that information is listed in the description box of this video down below as well. So there's some options there. I also put out a what do I call it? A giveaway, a drawing. If you check out my giveaway uh, playlist, I just put one out that every 2 weeks I'm gonna have a drawing for a chance to win a 30-minute personal recorded reading, and if I get enough comments, an additional 45, and if I get any more comments, even an additional hour reading. So there's a chance, depending on how many comments are there, I'll be giving away a possibility of 3 personal readings, a 30-minute, a 45-minute, and an hour. I know what's going on. But there's some options there for you. So, and I feel bad that I can't get to everyone in every session. The list I know gets very long, very fast. So thank you again, everyone, so much for all the thumbs up that you give the video too. That's absolutely absolutely free, and it's something that does help out my channel. It helps spread the Zen love to the world. So thank all of you for who gave the video a thumbs up. Any comments you make on videos, any other likes you give on any other videos, it all helps spread the love. And thank you for being a part of that. All right. So that's it. That's the public service message. So, LA, you are up. So thank you for your donation. You want to know, why did you meet Caleb? Was it only to help Aaron? Let's take a look here. Why did you meet Caleb? Whoa. Wow. Okay. Just getting clarity real quick here. So you do have the messenger of water, which is the knight of water. And so you met them because in your pursuit of love, like we all are in, it does help us understand unconditional love from where we come by experiencing conditional love and the opposites of things. I mean, which is what, we have the three of air, which is the expectations equal disappointment, which normally has this huge heart in it with three swords. So we experience disappointment and heartbreak, and the tower card, which is when things are removed out of our life on purpose, but people are brought into our life on purpose as well. And so, there's this whole message here that, individuals all come into our life on purpose for a purpose, to allow us to see things about ourselves that we want to see until we see them. And so everyone ends up being a messenger of love in some way or another. So it's like, here you are, and here comes Caleb, and he goes, "Hey, I got something to tell you. I got something to show you." And you're like, "Oh, great. What are you going to show me?" And they're like, "Disappointment." Bam. And then, tower kind of energy that comes in. But what they came in to show you, I'm glad you like that. What they showed you, though, really is how strong you are, that you are the one that controls your life, that you are the one. They showed you a new passion, a new power that you have within yourself. That and you learn through this. I feel like you gain so much strength within this, because you realized that it's like you decided, I'm going to choose what I focus on in this or not, and I'm not going to let it destroy me. I'm not going to. I get to decide. I feel like it really, like, triggered this lion, within you, to just really come forward and go, I'm going to control my life. I'm going to stable my life, and I'm not going to let anyone, no matter what they do, tell me about me. I'm going to do this, right? And I like that, because I feel like with the seven of wands, normally, when someone is raised to this different place, the people down here normally are trying to tear them down and bring them down, because they feel low about themselves, and because of that, they want them to come back down here and be miserable with the rest of them. But I feel like in a situation, if they were raised to a situation, if anyone was raised up, um, that you would be a supporter, you wouldn't be someone trying to destroy him. And I feel like this is the energy, the power that it really helped you understand about yourself, that, you know, maybe 10 years ago, we'd be, firing a cannon up at him. But I really feel like the situation that has happened has really shown you how much you've grown, how much you stand in your own power, and how little you let yourself be impacted by the outside world, like I said, compared to 10 years ago. Yeah. 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 Because you have the Three of Pentacles, which is you standing true to be you, your authentic self. the king of water, balancing mind and heart. So very much balanced energy, and the seven of earth too. Patience and realizing when you see fruit that you don't want anymore, that you are willing to sell the orchard and invest in a different orchard because you're like, I am not going to waste my time. So I feel like you learned a lot through it all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I feel like maybe you didn't walk away. You like Superman. You flew away. You're like, and I'm out. Because that 8 of Wands is a lot of energy. Yeah, definitely. So I really feel like it just really allowed you to see your strength, to see what you're willing to and not willing to put up with. And so they did come in on purpose for purpose. They played a great role. When you meet them back on the other side, you'll like punch him in his arm because you're gonna see them totally different. We're all these beautiful beings, powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. These actors we are, and our characters, we play some pretty crazy characters down here, but we deserve an Oscar, because when we get back over there, we're so loving, and we all crack up because we're like, did you see what a douche I was down on earth? Oh my God, it's so not us. And they're like, oh my gosh, but did you have fun? Learning from how I was to you. And you're like, oh my God, I learned so much. Thank you for being such a great teacher. But I love that. So I like that, LA. So that's what they have. I'm so glad for you, how you really became strong and realized all this about that. So I love it. Thank you again so much for your donation. That's what they have for you this evening. All right. You are very welcome. High five. All right. And I do not see any other donations. So that's going to be it for this evening. Again, thank you guys so much for being here and for all your love, all your support. I will be back tomorrow night. And if you missed the announcement, I am taking off Mondays and Tuesdays in the evenings just to balance, because I do recordings during the day and stuff too. But in an attempt to balance, Monday and Tuesday nights were my slowest nights out of them all. And Spirit was like, boy, you need to balance or you're not going to be on. So I gave in, resisted my fears that everyone would abandon me and leave me all alone, which is our human nature, right? So thank you for showing up and not having my fears fulfilled. But please know, as you guys go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you guys again, you have a great night, a great day, wherever you're at in the world, and we'll see you soon. Till then, take care.